Good day to you. My name is Fred Oakman, and with me today, as always, is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS. This is awesome. You're listening to the show, and we are a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 350. This is a show where we share our feelings about the current state of PlayStation each and every week. And before we get on with the show, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel on YouTube, youtube.com/PS. This is awesome. And if you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PlayStation Network, you can find me at anchorless_81, Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. You can write us if you want at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Most importantly, don't forget to share the show with your friends. Make sure you leave comments, rate the podcast as you see fit. And we are a video podcast, so you can watch us if you want on YouTube. And if you're a new or long-time listener, we have a Patreon where you can support the show at a $1 level. The Patreon tier is called the one and only $1 Club. Head over to www.patreon.com/PS. This is awesome to become a $1 patron and get a free die-cut vinyl sticker in the mail and a shout on the show. And I will say we are also available on your preferred podcast streaming services. So wherever you are listening to us, make sure you hit the subscribe button and subscribe to our podcast. We air every Wednesday on most weeks. Some weeks we don't. Like this week, we're airing late Wednesday. But if you do subscribe to the Patreon, and we've been falling a little short, but it's not a promise. It's only it's our goal to get the patron supporters a early access to each and every show. Hopefully by Monday night, Tuesday morning. But that didn't happen this week, and we are recording this on Wednesday. And with that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing?
Doing okay. Had a bit of a not like a crazy weekend or anything, but I had a hockey game on Friday and it bruised my ribs, so I'm kind of sore. It wasn't anything heroic or anything. I literally fell off of the bench and landed on my rib cage.
Wow.
And didn't like get hit or anything. It's like play the game, which has a history of having some amount of danger to it, and then get hurt doing something fucking stupid like falling off of the bench. But it's just, I don't know if you've ever had a rib injury, but they're really annoying. They hurt and they take forever to heal.
It is persistent.
And so so I'm not, and there's nothing you can't do anything about it. And it's like every time you sneeze or cough or every time you lay down, like all that stuff is putting pressure on it. So like every morning I wake up and I'm super tight and I've got to stretch out my chest and like,
yeah.
At least this time, so I've had rib injuries playing hockey before, and the last couple times it's been my sternum. And this time it's like off to the side, so it's a lot better, dude. Sternum injuries are the fucking worst because it's like everything is attached to that. But so that sucked. But after that Saturday, I went to Erie, bought a suit. I bought a new suit for my cousin's wedding coming up. I needed a new suit anyway, but I decided this was a good excuse as any to buy one. So I went and bought one, getting it tailored right now. So that should be done hopefully next week. And then pretty excited about that. I mean, you wear a suit like once a year, maybe, depending on like, at least me. And it's like, they're not the most comfortable thing in the world, but there's something to be said about getting dressed up like that every now and again and just looking fucking snazzy. Well, like even if it's just for a few hours.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. But while we were up there, so this is on Saturday, so we had some other errands and stuff too. Sarah was trying to find a dress and everything. But my brother lives up there, so we went and visited him. And my nephew, who's 5, was showing me his Astrobot skills. And he's fucking 5 years old, and he's killing it.
Wow.
In Astrobot.
That's awesome.
He can't even, his hands are so small, he can't even hold the controller. He literally sets the controller on his lap, holds the left joystick with his index finger and his thumb, and he moves it around with his entire hand. And then on the right hand side, he does this like claw grip where he uses like the trigger and like the face buttons to jump. And like if he needs to, he'll use his thumb to like push the camera around. And he was like,
Dope.
dude, he beat without like first try, without even like, wait, he might have died once, but like pretty much his first try beat the first major boss of Astrobot, that big monkey fight.
Yeah.
He fucking beat it without even really trying all that hard. Now there was a couple of missions where like he asked me to do it for him because he couldn't do it. I think it's because of the like you have to have a little bit more control over like using the trigger and everything at the same time, and because his hands aren't big enough, he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's like you always hear about how kids are just like they pick up stuff so easily and all this crap, and it's
so
like
true.
You believe it, but like when you see it in action, I'm like, dude, like I can't even fucking play this game. And like, I mean, I can obviously. I'm obviously better at it than he is, but like not by enough that I'm comfortable with it. Like he is so good at it for being a 5-year-old that can barely hold the controller. It hurt my ego a little bit to see that happen, but it's cool that he's getting into it and he likes these games. He's into Sackboy now too. He's playing I think Sackboy's Big Adventure or something he's playing.
Good.
And he's into Mario Kart and Astro. So
someone's got to
I'm
carry
really
the
stoked
banner
for his gaming future. Yeah, I'm hoping that he doesn't find Fortnite. I'm hoping that kind of. I mean, if he does, he does. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Fortnite's a fine game. I just hope that his video game horizons are broader than that.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Huh. Oh, I don't have anything. I was going to say, to your point about dressing up, I'm at an age now where the only reason I'm putting a suit on is to go to a funeral. Like most people I know have tied the knot. All the people I know have graduated college or wherever. There's no graduation ceremonies anymore. I'm trying to think what would the occasion be for me to get dressed up? I don't know what it would be. I don't know.
I mean, if you've got any younger relatives that are getting married or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that.
Yeah, I guess the only thing would be is if if you had like a company party or some other kind of social event.
Maybe you're receiving an award or something.
Yeah, or if like you're let's say you are taking a significant other out to like a place that's relatively fancy or something like that. But we don't really live in an area where it's like you wear a suit when you go out. Like that's not really the kind of area that we live in. And so but like it's just I'm not saying you should go out and spend $1,000 on a suit or something like that, but it's always good to have one just in case you have to like do a job interview or like you said, go to a funeral or the occasional wedding or whatever.
Dude, the funerals I've been to lately, nobody fucking dresses up. And I'm just like, this is so disrespectful. Like,
really?
Yeah, dude.
I
shorts,
always wear a suit when I go to a wedding.
Fucking polo shirts. There's sneakers. I've seen jeans, flannels. And I'm just like, who the fuck are you people? I've been to coworkers when they die, their funerals. I've been to to be fair, I have extended family out in Clearfield County, and it's very remote out there where they live, and they just abide by a different code. So we'll leave it at that. But it's man, it's very seldom to see. I don't know. I think there was there wasn't even. I think when my grandma passed, there were some suits, and that was nice. She was given a little bit of respect. But man, I hope people fucking dress up at my funeral.
Yeah.
I don't want no one wearing fucking cardigans or like painting pants or you know what I mean, like fucking backwards caps and fuck that noise. You got to send a person off.
It would be nice. Yeah, it would be nice. Unless you didn't really some people don't care about that, but it's just the idea of there's something to be said about asking like about making yourself a little uncomfortable as like one last sacrifice and show of respect for somebody that you care about.
Yeah, right.
Like, and I'm not saying you have to be uncomfortable in a suit, but it's like
a person who
nobody puts
right.
nobody puts a suit on to lay around on the couch. You know what I mean? Like it's
right. If you're going to a funeral in your regular clothes, it's disrespectful because it's just like, dude, just wear something a little nicer to pay respect to the dead. Like, and like you're saying, like a little bit of a sacrifice, little personal self-sacrifice, just to say, hate to see you go, or celebration of life, you know? But it's just so crazy to think that people don't do that. I don't know. It's never been me. I've always gotten dressed up for funerals.
yeah.
But that aside, did trick or treat. It was fun. Did not give away all of my candy. I tried. I did walk up on Chestnut Street as Michael Myers. And I just started throwing candy in people's bags. Scared some people. That was always fun. Trying to think what else. We played a concert on Saturday. Another one. We were at Voodoo on Arch Street. And there was a local band called Tear from Grace. And they are kind of like a local hardcore band. But they have one of the best drummers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it was their 10-year anniversary. We played it. And we
Who's their drummer?
Johnny Britton.
Oh, John Britton, yeah.
He's
a beast.
He's ridiculous. He's absolutely ridiculous.
He's got that weird snare sound that I'm not sure I'm in love with, but his playing is awesome.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, his YouTube videos literally are just him drumming all the time. Just doing like, and he plays to a click live. He drums to a click. I was thinking like his tempo is impeccable. Like when they were playing, I was just like, and they do a lot of technical. I mean, they would sound completely different with a different drummer. Like he is so very much part of the way that band sounds. But man, he is so entertaining to watch. Two other bands we play with were Gelatin Skeleton, which is a really fun name, and then Souls Collapse. So it was another hardcore show, but we got a lot of praise for a lot of those bands in those hardcore. A lot of those guys in those hardcore bands grew up listening to our punk rock stuff, and they were like, "We can't even believe that you guys are still bringing it the way you're bringing it. Like it sounds so good." They're like, "You're so tight." Like, thanks. Yeah, we never stopped. But so that was nice. That was a good time. But outside of that, cool. Dude, I don't think anything. Still working on the Hero Quest board, painting things as time permits, and not getting nearly enough sleep. I'm sure everybody has an opinion about the election. It doesn't even matter. We're going to talk about video games. But definitely didn't sleep very well last night. And ready to just freaking be done with the political advertising.
Dude, think about how many trees are going to be saved now.
I know. I thought about that. Yeah, I thought about that. And can we all just be civil to this degree? Can everybody just take down their signs? Can we just go back to like a neighborhood without fucking political signs everywhere? Can we just? There's a dude in our town that has literally a tree chainsaw carving of Donald Trump in his front yard. And it's painted,
dude.
And
it's so fucking funny.
And he has like
so funny.
He has 2 or 3 flags that say like, "I voted for the felon," and he's beautiful fucking home. And then on his roof, he has mounted the largest Trump Vance sign I've ever seen. It's on his roof like he's living in a castle, and it's just advertised throughout. Like you can see it from anywhere. It's just like this.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's Trump or Harris or whoever.
Yeah.
It's just like why do you have these fucking, like, who cares who you're voting for? Just take your
and the way I look
out.
at it is like, dude, it doesn't matter how many fucking signs you have up in your yard. Your vote is still just one vote. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you have a beautiful yard and a beautiful home. It's your right to do whatever you want. I get it. Whatever. If that were my house, I don't put up political signs. I just don't do it. I mean, it's just something tacky about them. But can we take them down?
To me, it's just like, it's none of your business who I vote for. Like, why? Like, But I don't know. It is pretty interesting. I mean, we don't.
Yeah,
really
we're not going
don't
to talk about the
want to
election.
dive
We're going
into
to talk about fucking
politics,
video games. People are over the election.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just glad it's over.
Me too. Yeah, I don't want to get into that shit. I don't even have my notepad. So, there it is. Hold on. So every episode we talk about games that we're playing. I did not update the notes today, but I don't know if there's much more news today about video games. But let's talk about games, Jake, that we're playing. And I'm still working through the Dead Space remake. 7 hours now in. This game is long. It's a long game.
7 hours is not long.
But I'm only on chapter 6,
about?
and there's 14 chapters.
Yeah, it might be like you're like halfway through it. It might be whatever, 15 hours long or something like that.
So I'll say this: just because the way that the saves work in this game, I just put the game on easy so I can just enjoy the game. I was playing normal for a long time, and then I would just like die, and then you don't restart where you die, you restart where the last save terminal is. And I was just like, fuck, I don't want to replay this shit. So I put the game on easy to mitigate having to replay parts of the game, which I don't regret at all. But I'm enjoying it. I just got past the part, I don't know if you'll remember, but there are these things called Weezers with an H. And they're like these guys. And they're half transformed. And they're like poisoning the air, like they're spores and shit. And you have to find all like 8 or 9 of them and inject them with a antidote. So I just got past that part. I also don't love the I love the idea of the zero gravity chambers in this game. It's so fucking cool. But the controls don't feel good.
I don't think it's possible to make zero gravity controls that feel good. Like, I think it's just... I mean, it's kind of like underwater levels.
Don't worry about that.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like in Astrobot, they put an underwater level in there, and it's like my least favorite level. Like everybody loves the idea of it. Oh, really? Yeah. Everybody loves the idea of an underwater level. They look cool. It's neat having fish around and all this shit, but they're really never fun to play, at least in my opinion. And I think the zero gravity is in like that same sort of ballpark.
Yeah.
Because it puts your... Not only is it difficult to control, but it forces your awareness into like extreme 3 dimensions, if that makes any sense. Like, you're constantly looking straight over your head and underneath of you, and like, instead of just being like sort of ahead of you and behind you and maybe a little bit up and a little bit down, it's like 360. Yeah. And that's it can be a little bit annoying.
Well, I think what's weird also is that a game that's not meant to be played like that, primarily, all of a sudden, the zero gravity controls are held to the constraints and parameters of the regular control system, and it just makes it feel weird. Like the panning speed, like even landing and taking off, you got to push like the 2 buttons simultaneously. And like you can only do it when you're so close to the floor, and like there are boosters, but like you can look, but you can't really steer. So you kind of go where you're looking, if that makes sense. There's not like that third control for movement.
Yeah,
there needs to be like a third. I don't know. Anyways, it's a minor complaint, but I still am enjoying it. I'm getting like 40 minutes in each morning, and I'm pushing through, but. Before I pass the ball to you to hear what you're playing, I do want to say, I know I told everybody I'd get back to Astrobot, but that Metro Awakening game is now, I believe, out. The VR game for VR2. And that is going to be something I'm playing. I sent you a link to a review of it, I believe, that somebody did. An initial gameplay review.
Yeah, it was a video, so I didn't watch it, but it looked like, based on the comments, that people seem to like it.
Yeah, there's some gripes, just saying that it's slow, and then it picks up, and then it's slow again navigating, and then some of the places you double back through, and they think that they've made you go back to areas you've already been in just to pseudo expand the gameplay time, but a 9-hour VR2 game in the Metro universe with high fidelity graphics and that world, I'm all in. Those games are story driven. I'm in, dude. I gotta get in there.
Yeah, looks like it comes out on Friday.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're early reviews then.
Yeah. So that's cool though. I mean, hopefully it's good because
people are saying it's good.
Hopefully it controls good. Because that's really what does it for me in VR games. Like, it has to control well. Like, I can get over shitty stories and all that kind of crap, but if it doesn't feel good to play, especially in VR, like, I'm not really gonna be interested in it.
Well, how about you? What are you playing?
Same as last week. I'm like 36 hours into Metaphor, so I'm moving along. And still really enjoying it. I'm playing it like every now and again. Not every now and again. I play it every day, but it's like that's kind of like my morning game where like before work, because it doesn't require a whole lot of like, action and like concentration and stuff. I just sort of kind of dig through some story, run some errands, do some side quests, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been playing a little bit more of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And I mean, I'm enjoying it. I know I was griping last week about it having like an open world, but the open world section, it wasn't like this long-winded thing. I think I was only in that open world for maybe an hour or so, which is kind of neat. But that's partially because I chose not to go guns blazing on all there are like these where you have to like take out these missile launcher things, and you go up to like these bases and there's like a missile launcher in the back and there's like freaking 20 guys there that you might have to fight if you just go charging in. But I did like a little side mission and it gave me this like airstrike ability. And so, like, I just snuck up to where I could see the missile and then just, like, dropped an airstrike and blew it up. And then it's, like, you can just kind of sneak away. Or you can stick around and fight if you want to, or if you want to go out and do some stuff. So it wasn't as disruptive as I feared it might be to the flow of the game. But, yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of enjoying it. I'm still kind of playing that sort of every now and again, but I'm playing it pretty slowly, so we'll see how the rest of it goes. But that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Very good, man. Well, we do have a quick feedback here. I didn't put into the show notes, but I'm on the YouTube channel now. And One Black Talon writes in, he says, this is really off topic, but I disagree that it's off topic because we're getting close to that time of year. But he asks, you did mention Christmas songs recently. Do you know if your stand-in co-host LJ has a Christmas album? I see he does have a few Christmas songs on YouTube Music. Thanks. This is news to me. I didn't know. I know LJ plays in that band Malingo. Maybe they have Christmas songs? I didn't know that LJ was doing original. I wonder if it's our dude. It could be a different LJ. It could be our guy. I'll have to look into this one, Black Talon. I'll ask LJ. And ask him. And I will go on record to say that Jake and I caught some shit from LJ today while I'm sitting at work. But it is what it is.
We've fucking apparently.
He's no longer going to be part of the show.
Apparently,
because we're going to bring him into work to do it, and he refuses.
Apparently, we hit a sore spot with LJ about the work from home stuff. But, that's
there's no love lost. We still love him.
No. It's totally fine. It was just kind of funny to like my phone's fucking blown up at work, and I'm like, what the hell is going? Like, I didn't even respond to any of the messages because I was busy. But it was like I finally looked at my phone in the afternoon, and there's like a fucking novel about working from home, and I was like, I can't.
I sent him a novel back.
I just put it down.
Well, if the listeners have anything else they want to say about it, feel free. But I'm gonna let LJ speak for himself next time he comes on the show, or if he wants to give me permission to read what he wrote, I will. But Ultimately, his issue, he just wrote, "I'm so glad y'all ain't my employer." LOL. And then he went on a diatribe about, reasons why he thinks it's ridiculous that people should be called back. So, but again, my response was like situationally based, and I think I offered a pretty good defense for why I feel how I feel about it. But anyways, we're not going to get back into that and open that chestnut back up. But that was a fun conversation. So if you guys have anything you'd like to add about that, feel free. But yeah, so that wraps up listener feedback. And then with that out of the way, we're just going to jump into the news. There's not a whole lot of news points. And dude, if I'm being honest, my computer last night, when I was trying to compile the video, not last night, but when I was trying to compile episode 349, dude, it was like video will be done compiling in like 6 hours. It was going so slow. And I restarted it, reloaded it, re-edited it, restarted it, and it just wasn't moving. And I don't know if it's because my computer's about to shit the bed. I don't know if it's because Apple is trying to throttle everything because they wanted me to install a new operating system, but I had major problems. So I set it, and I went to bed, and I went back, and it said the completion time was like 30-some minutes, which is pretty average for compiling our podcast video for YouTube. But I can't do the way that I do it. I don't do the audio version of the podcast until the video version is done. Because after I do the video version, I just rip the audio from the video version and separate it and re-export it as an MP3. So I can't do it the other way around. So the longest part is the first part. So sometimes if the video ever goes up before the Patreon feed, or if it ever goes up before like your preferred streaming feed, that's why, is because I have to rip the video before I do the audio to make it work. That's my process, and I'm not going to change it. But anyways, it's going to be a shorter podcast because I got to compile this shit, and I don't know what I'm going to run into, and it's Wednesday, and I want to make sure I get a video out for you guys. But first thing is first. So for anybody questioning how serious Sony is about the PS5 Pro, they now have an official list of PS5 Pro launch games that Sony has revealed. And, with the story, there's going to be a PS5 Pro Enhanced label that is put on these games, the physical editions. And I would imagine for the digital versions, there's also going to be some sort of thing within the PSN. But there are some really good games that are going to be supported by PS5 Pro, and I don't know to what degree, but I know Alan Wake 2 is going to be fucking dope on PS5 Pro. And there's a bunch of other ones on here that look good, man. Black Ops 6 just came out. That's going to be compatible. Dragon Age Veilguard, Diablo 4, Demon Souls. There's a lot of shit on here. 7 Rebirth is going to be on there. Ragnarok, Hogwarts, Horizon. It's funny that Kayak VR Mirage is on here. It's so funny to me.
What's interesting to me is that I don't I see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I don't see Final Fantasy 16 on here, which is interesting because Final Fantasy 16, one of the things that it got kind of flack for was how it ran when it came out. I mean, I played it and I didn't have too much of an issue with it, but there definitely was some frame rate drops here and there with that game. So I'm surprised that they didn't put any work into patching that game. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these games, the big ones, obviously Alan Wake 2.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Rift Apart, having the ability to play that game on the highest settings while still get 60 frames. Theoretically, I guess that's what they're trying for.
Well, dude, another one that's going to be dope is the Callisto Protocol.
Oh, yeah. And actually, Forbidden West, I know you said when you played Forbidden West, you didn't like how it looked on performance mode.
I mean, it looked fine, but yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, I mean, that could be another one. But some of these, it's like, I don't know, what are you really getting out of it? Like No Man's Sky, like, what are you really getting out of it? Yeah, this is awesome. It's good to see that all these games are being patched for
Pro.
PS5 Pro.
Yeah, agree. Looking at that list kind of makes me want to just fucking buckle down and get one. They had some stuff on Push Square 2, how to transfer all your save data to your new PS5 Pro. So if you do get one, there's some good resources on how to do that. Yeah, let me just jot that down real quick. Update games. Okay, so the next news point here is with all the phenomenal criticism received by Alan Wake 2, Jake, the game is yet to make a profit, even now after the DLC and shit has come out. I think that this was around Halloween I did these notes, man. It's just such a bummer because it is such a special game.
Yeah, I really don't know. Either they spent a shit.
They sold it at a lower price, did they not? Wasn't it like
60 versus 70? Yeah. It wasn't like it was super cheap. It was like $40 or something. But like
there was also not a physical version when it released.
Right. Well, either this game fucking sold very few copies, or it was really expensive to make.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because their other games, like the last game they made, Control, they made that game for something crazy like $50 million, and that game easily made its money back. So I don't know, like, how much money did they spend on this game? Did they need to sell 10 million copies of it to break even? Because that's kind of crazy if they did. I mean, maybe there's a lot of marketing spent on it and stuff like that we don't think about. But, yeah, I'm not... How many copies of Alan Wake 2 sold? 1.3 million copies, which would be about... What would that be, like $80 million? Something like that. So I guess that really isn't that great. The game probably cost over $100 million to make. So... Part of the problem, too, was I think that they, like, on PC, I think they locked it to Epic Game Store. It's not on Steam. So I think that's part of the reason why it didn't sell as well, on top of... Dude, I can't fathom how this game didn't sell more on console. Because it's... In my opinion, it's too long, but kind of like... But like The Last of Us Part 2. It's too long... But the game is unbelievable. Like, I don't think you can deny the fact that the game is amazing. And with all of the, like, hype around it, I guess it kind of shows you the type of echo chamber that we sort of live in the video game sphere, where it's like, even though everybody in the video game space was talking about how great Alan Wake is, it just must not have mass market appeal. I mean, maybe it did get really hurt by only being on Epic Game Store, but you would think that it would have sold more even just on consoles. So I don't know what that's about, to be honest with you. Maybe the game's a little too weird for people. Maybe they don't understand it.
Well, I don't understand it completely, but it doesn't take away the fact that it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a really strange thing to think about. Because, yeah, I feel bad, because they end the game in a way that makes it seem like there has to be a third game, and like they don't really tie everything up nicely at the end of the second game. It's kind of like the end of the first game, where it's like they leave you kind of hanging, and like, because this game didn't sell super well, does that mean we gotta wait a super long time for Alan Wake 3 now? I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's a shame that all the DLC...
Obviously,
I didn't buy the DLC, but I'm going to, but it's a shame that the DLC didn't get them over the hump.
Well, I mean, maybe if they release a complete edition or something like that, it will.
They also haven't said how much they need to break even. They just said they haven't quite...
Yeah, I don't think so anyway. Let's see. How much money did Alan Wake 2 cost to make? This says the budget for the game reportedly stands at 70 million euros, which is what, like $100 million?
Probably around that. Probably around that. I would imagine.
No, the euro and the US dollar are almost identical now. So it's
Wow.
75 million US dollars.
75 million.
That's not dude, they should be close. If not right there. But if they have marketing on top of it, yeah, I guess it would be. Plus some of the games probably sold at less than retail value based on, sales and things like that.
Well, and Sony's getting a kick from everything on the PSN.
Right. So they very well may be behind on that. That's it's pretty interesting. It's a bummer, but yeah, that game it's so good, man.
It is good. All right, we got a few more stories, and then the new games coming out this week. So, this Christmas, Jake, we're going to be seeing, you mentioned Fortnite earlier in the show, a Fortnite Console Bundle. It's going to come with a console, 1,000 V-Bucks, and a code to download 8 in-game cosmetics. The Fortnite train just does not stop. I'm surprised to see a Fortnite Console Bundle, though. That's weird.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. There's probably a ton of kids that are like, they want to play Fortnite and they also don't have a PS5 yet. Maybe they're playing Fortnite on their fucking phones or something. And it's like, oh, well, dad wants a PS5. Kid wants to play Fortnite. Let's just buy the kid the Fortnite PS5 bundle.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Or maybe they just want, maybe they just want to... Maybe they're just kids that, I don't know, man. Fortnite baffles me. To be fair, I've never played it, and I know people really like it, and I'm not throwing shade at it or anything like that. It's just, it seems like one of those games that the people that are into it, it dominates their world. And I am not that type of gamer. I'm constantly playing different things. I get bored playing the same game over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So, but no doubt this thing will sell tons of copies and people will dig it, and good for them, I suppose. Get your V-Bucks. I don't know what 1,000 V-Bucks means, but maybe it's a lot. Mm-hmm. Do you know? Did it say how much it cost?
I didn't.
Is it the same price?
I didn't even dig in, man. I didn't dig in.
Like, if it was the same price as a base PS5, why the fuck not?
I'm sure it's not the same price. All right, next news point, man. This is interesting. And despite being EA's biggest single-player game on Steam, BioWare are not going to supply Dragon Age the Veilguard with any post-launch DLC. The studio is moving on to the next installment of the Mass Effect series. Smart move?
I mean, probably. Yeah, I mean, everybody wants Mass Effect. And it seems like, at least critically, it seems like generally people like this game. I know that there are a few people out there that are relatively prominent in this space that don't like it. I know it's pretty divisive because of all of the gender stuff in it, but which is neither here nor there. But I don't know. It's not a game that particularly holds my interest very much. I don't know. Dragon Age has never really been that type of game that I really care all that much about. It always looked kind of generic to me.
I don't know.
But
I am curious about it because I still laugh at how many hours I have into Inquisition. I don't remember anything about the game, but I have like 160 hours in Inquisition somehow. Like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, what? Why did I like it so much? I don't even remember it. I don't know.
It could very well be that. It could very well be that you, Maybe the game clock was broken and you just left it running.
Dude,
I have a hard time believing.
No,
you
because I
played it
beat
for
the
that
shit
long,
out of
but-
that game, man. I did. I was really good at it.
I didn't even beat the game. I was over it. it just didn't do it for me. All the freaking
All the fucking.
like war table stuff. And
I don't even remember that.
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means. I remember that you had to like upgrade your shit. Like I don't know. Like it was.
Well, it's like, don't you remember you had this war table, and the whole point of the game was you were gathering forces to go up against the bad guys or
No,
whatever.
I don't remember
And
any
the
of
only
it.
way that you could continue the story was to do all these like little mini side quests and stuff to build your cred so that you could move on to the next. It was not my cup of tea. Like I enjoyed what I played of it, but then it just got to a point where it was like I was over it.
Yeah, dude. I honestly don't remember. I have a mental image of the character I made. That's it. I couldn't tell you anything. I know there was a guy named Solus, and he was like a bald-headed elf. That's all I remember. That's it. 170 hours of my life wasted. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. So I do want to double back and talk about Metro Awakening real quick. And the reason being, I was just on the Push Square website, and they have a review for this game. And I knew that there was going to be some teeth to this game. And I'm not saying, reviews are subjective, of course. But they say here, conclusion. Let's just jump right to the conclusion. They give it a 9 out of 10. We're sorry that we ever doubted that Vertigo could pull off a Metro VR game. The Dutch devs have masterfully captured the essence of this cult series and amplified its best traits with a myriad of VR-specific mechanics. While we had some issues with its story and would have liked a tad more setting variety, its highs are so high we'd happily go through it all again. With the visuals, the atmosphere, the controls all melting into one experience, Metro Awakening is easily one of the most immersive VR games we've ever played. That sounds fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, VR is all about feel. So, I do think it looks good. I think it looks great, and I would like to try it, but I'll probably wait till you play it and see what you say.
Stellar gunplay, plenty of VR-specific mechanics, the best-in-class VR immersion, spine-tingling gameplay moments, seamless VR controls, and excellent use of the haptics. I did see somewhere that, in Metro, you put the gas mask on. When you put it on, that haptic thing in the PlayStation headset goes boom, and it like feels like you put a fucking mask on. That's fucking cool. I want to try that really bad. And then just wipe it. That'd be so fucking cool as shit, dude. I'm going to get this game. There's no doubt about it. And I'll let the listeners know.
Give it a go and let me know how it is, because if it's great, then I might be tempted to try it out myself.
All the comments are just going nuts about this review. I don't know, man. It's cool as shit. Speaking of which, I was on... where was I? I was somewhere, and I was looking up PlayStation stuff. I think I was on Shop Goodwill or something. And they had the original VR game, a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation Eye, or whatever it was called, and like 20 games for like $150. And I was like, wow, is that a good deal? I don't know. Maybe. If you're dirt fucking poor and you want to give it a shot. I don't know. It was weird.
PS4?
Yeah. Might have been a PS4 Pro.
I mean, still, I think that's not bad. Can you still buy a PS4? Buy PS4. Let's see. Best Buy. PS4 games and consoles. Let's see here. I don't know if you can
I don't know, dude. Anyways.
buy a PS4 anymore. Interesting.
Dude, that was my last
I was gonna say, that doesn't seem like a bad price.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, here's $360, $250, $139 at GameStop for a pre-owned
Or
one.
something?
But if you get that, huh?
Is there like something printing in your house? Is there like a printer going in the background?
No.
What am I hearing?
I don't know. I don't hear anything.
Oh, sorry, listeners. I hear something. All right, but go ahead. What were you saying?
I'm just saying. I think that it's $150 isn't a bad deal if you're getting games, and as long as it's like in good shape and it's not beat to shit or like covered in someone's grime, then yeah, why not?
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, hey, let's talk about new games. Every episode, if we can, we'll talk about new games coming out on the PlayStation Network. And we're going to rattle off some games, just let you know what's coming out. And this one is already out because we're recording this on the 6th, or say the 7th. Today's the 6th.
6th. Yeah.
November 6th, today, the day we're recording this, Demons of Astborg on PS5, Planet Coaster 2 on PS5, Run from Mummies on PS5, and Slavic Punk Old Timer on PS5, PS4. November 7th. What's up with these names? Astabros? Astebros? I don't know. PS5. Battle Spirits crossover PS5, Goat Simulator remastered PS5, Magical Bakery on PS5, Metro Awakening PSVR 2. That comes out tomorrow. All right. Phantom Brave, the Bermuda Triangle remastered PS5. River City Saga, Three Kingdoms next PS4. Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival on PS5. And Tectonica on PS5. And then lastly, November 8th, we get Elderborn on PS5 and Slitterhead on PS5, PS4.
When I looked up Metro Awakening on the PSN store, so yeah. So when I looked it up on the PSN store, let me see here, Metro Awakening. The reason why I said Friday is because the countdown until release is 17 hours from now. So that would be like tomorrow at noon or something.
That's so weird.
Which is like a weird time for it to come out. So yeah, I guess you could play it tomorrow evening if you wanted to.
Well, that's when I'll be done working.
Tomorrow at noon?
No, evening.
Oh.
Yeah, evening I'll be done working. I wish I was done at noon tomorrow. I suppose I could be, but I'm just going to work anyways. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying, man?
Yep. You got to do what you got to do. Work to live, live to work, whatever the fuck.
Well, why don't we talk and say goodbye to the listeners if you want. That's all we have for today's show. This episode 450 is a short show, an abbreviated show. Don't feel that we're ripping you guys off. I just had nothing else to contribute for the show today, and we're already late to begin with. And when we're late like this, we have lives. Shit goes on, and it's sometimes hard. I don't know. It's just tough sometimes to get the show done every day, every week consistently. But I don't know, man. There is a little blurb here. We're not going to go into details, but apparently Sega's bringing back Virtua Fighter. That's interesting. So the assignment for the listeners is do a quick show note for us about Virtua Fighter. I want a complete rundown of the series history and the best ones, the worst ones, what it initially released on, and the original developer. And send it to us, and we'll talk about it on our show next week. Verbatim, whatever you send us. So, no funny business. Jake, do you have anything you want to say before we get off the show?
Well, no, not really. I'm excited for Friday. I am going to see Iron Maiden in Pittsburgh. So that should be fucking rad. And that band, The Who, is opening for them. Not like Roger Daltrey, The Who from England, but The Who, HU from... They're like a Mongolian metal band.
Okay.
That play like... they play like a lot of like traditional instruments and stuff, and they look like fucking Mongols. They're awesome. So I'm excited for that. Other than that, I don't know. I got an issue with my new roof. I got to try and get fixed. I got to finish the drywall in my new office. It's like done. I got to do one more tape seam and then sand it, and that's literally it. And it's been going forever, but it's like, dude, I can't fucking see. You can't see in there. So it's like I have to do it in the middle of the day when it's sunny out. Either that or get like a really bright ass lamp and do it when it's dark or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I prefer to just wait until like the weekend when the sun's coming in and I can get natural light and do it that way. So hopefully I'll be done with that this weekend, providing my rib cage doesn't prevent me from doing it.
We have like a 3-hour window every day to have natural light anymore. So,
dude, it's bad. Dude, you don't realize how much that extra hour makes a difference until they take it away from you. And like it was nice waking up on Sunday because I had a lot going on. Mm-hmm. It was nice that we got an extra hour because the clocks turned back. So when I got out of bed, I thought it was, whatever, 8 o'clock, and it was 7 o'clock or whatever the fuck it was. But now it's like when I'm leaving work, it's dark. So it's like you might as well not even, like yesterday, it was really nice. It was like 80 degrees outside. Mm. So, and it's the weather forecast said it was going to be nice. So I actually got up super early, went into work super early yesterday, and left at like 3. So I could get like an hour of sunlight and doing shit outside before it got dark. Yeah. And that was kind of nice. But those days are fastly approaching an end as we come into winter. Dude, it's going to be 3 weeks from tomorrow is Thanksgiving. 3 weeks from tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And or is it 2 weeks from tomorrow? Thanksgiving 2024 is November 28th. So it's 3 weeks from tomorrow. And then 4 weeks after that is Christmas. This year is going to be over in no time, and I have so much to do at work before then. So we're getting ready to buckle down for some long hours. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. Kind of rambling. What about you?
Nothing. I got nothing for the listeners, except we still love you, LJ. And yeah, he didn't write back to my response, which makes me think we pissed him off.
He's so fucking mad at you, Fred.
I know. We pissed him off, man. No, he doesn't care. Maybe he does. Maybe we really hit a sore spot with him, but you can't please them all, I say. But we love you regardless, and we hope that you still love us. LJ and I are buds. About 2 years, we'll talk again. I'm just kidding.
Did you know Thanksgiving has been observed for 403 years?
Sounds
apparently?
Right. Yeah, the Pilgrims founded it.
That's according to Google. When I Googled Thanksgiving,
no, I have no
it says
idea
observed for 403 years. Well, celebrated in the United States, Canada, St. Lucia, Liberia, and unofficially in countries like Brazil, Germany, and the Philippines. What's weird is that in Canada, Thanksgiving is on a different day. It's in October. Isn't that kind of strange? Like, what does it all mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they have their own Pilgrims and Indians dinner?
You mean Native Americans?
Sorry. Pilgrims and Native Americans.
I have no clue.
Idea.
Dude, but I was just thinking about this because One Black Talent was asking about Christmas songs. What if we use the music from 'Tis the Season and we just change the lyrics and we make a holiday song for every holiday with that song?
We could. Maybe use like if we did a Halloween song or something, you could put like a theremin in there or something.
What if we use the exact same progression of chords, but we change the tempo and the vibe,
and we just change it.
Change the instruments. Yeah.
Do one
it'd
for
be
like
awesome.
do one for Valentine's Day, Veterans Day, Labor Day, President's Day, and just change the fucking
Arbor
lyrics.
Day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be so funny.
We could have
Earth
dude,
Day.
we could have an album. We could have an album at the end of the year that's just the same song like 12 fucking times.
But different versions of it. One's acoustic.
Different versions of it.
One's like
It
metal.
would actually be honestly that's kind of a fun idea because it would sort of like it would be an interesting exercise in songwriting because it wouldn't be so much about like you already have
the structure.
the lyrics, right? So it's like
Well, no, we don't have
how
the
can I
lyrics.
make okay, so sorry. You have the chord progression,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you could even change the structure if you wanted to. But it's like how do we make this
How you stay in the
like,
confines of the
morph it.
song. Yeah.
into new ideas and do it like whatever 10 times. Like that's pretty interesting because you could do different genres, you could play different instruments. You could do a fucking a cappella version.
Could you imagine
Like,
trying to remember what version's what? We doing the Halloween version or we doing the Labor Day version here? The Black Friday
and then we
version?
could just the flood could just have one set of "'Tis the Season" for an hour.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny. Imagine how annoyed everyone would be. We almost have to do it now.
Yeah, it'd be pretty neat. I mean, you could even do like an instrumental version of it and like do like melodic playing with I don't know, something.
Do you
But, yeah,
change the
that's
lyrics? You
I
change
love
the
idea.
lyrics. You have to because you can't have it sound like Halloween and sing about Christmas. You keep the music the same.
You could keep the "'Tis the Season,"
Right.
and then you could just change the verses. That would be kind of an interesting
Well, 'Tis
thing.
the Season is a very Christmas thing. Maybe we could like use the same idea. We would use a refrain. You know what I mean? Like for Halloween, it would be, it's spooky season. You know what I mean? Like you could do like that. In northwestern Pennsylvania, but you could like, the vibe would be different. You know, someone would have to put like a voice coder on there, so you sound like the guy from Typo Negative, like, "It's spook." You could do like monster voices.
The Peter Steele
Yeah.
freaking filter.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be a fun exercise for sure.
All right. Well, I'll get working on it. Because the hardest part about writing songs is like having the song to write around. You know what I mean? We already wrote it. Let's just do that.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we should find one holiday every month and call it 12 Seasons at the 5 Seasons. Isn't it a hotel called 5 Seasons or something? Isn't there a hotel branch?
The 4
Yeah,
Seasons.
12 Seasons at the 4 Seasons, and it's us hanging out in like a hotel room. Oh, it's perfect. Be so
So
funny.
here you go. I just there are 11 federal holidays, which is perfect for an album.
Oh my gosh.
So you've got New Year's Day, you've got Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Washington's birthday, also known as President's Day, Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. I would say that maybe President's Day or Martin Luther King Jr. Day, one of those two, maybe Martin Luther King Jr. Day, or one of these should be replaced with Easter, because even though Easter is not a federal holiday, it is a widely accepted like mass market holiday. But
Yeah.
you could oh, what the fuck? Now this website says that there's 12. Does it include federal holidays? No, it doesn't show Easter on this one either. So, yeah. There you go. 11 American holidays, American federal holidays. And you got yourself a dope ass holiday album.
Okay, so
I tried to cheat real quick. So I went to ChatGPT and I put the lyrics for "'Tis the Season" in. And I told it to recreate this lyric structure, but replace the words to make it a song about Halloween. And this is what it came up with. Are you ready, listeners? You ready, Jake? Because this is podcast gold.
Sure.
"'Tis the season in Ghost Town, Pennsylvania. Lost my way in the midnight fog. Skeletons creeping through the chilly smog. 'Tis the season. I can't stop thinking about you. 2 weeks ago, we carved out fangs. Now jack-o'-lanterns flicker in the rain. Without you here, the shadows lead me through haunted mirrors. I've been alone. Why can't the spirits bring you right back home?'" That's so good. It's actually really fucking good. It's been so long.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
'Tis the season in a ghost town in Pennsylvania. Cobwebs cling to the old front door. A breeze rolls through like never before. 'Tis the season. I still can't stop thinking about you. My blanket's cold as the autumn air. Ghosts whisper secrets, but you're not there. Us this year, the fog chased you off to some warmer sphere. I've been alone. Why can't the spirits drift you back home? It's been so long. I can't remember I ever felt so alone at home. Alone at home. It's like really sad. It's like a really sad version, but it's Halloween. Dude, we should do it. Tell it to do it for Labor Day. What the fuck would it do if I told it to do it for Labor Day? Do this again, but to celebrate Labor Day. Here's a Labor Day theme version. "'Tis a season in Pennsylvania's late summer heat. Lost my cap in a rusted truck bed. Barely hanging on, but I ain't done yet. 'Tis the season, can't stop thinking about you. 2 weeks ago, we hit the lake. Now it's barbecues and breaks to take."
Sounds like a cliche country song.
It does. It doesn't know what to do. Oh my gosh. It was just a genius spur of the moment idea for me. I would never use ChatGPT lyrics, just so you know. I wouldn't sell my soul to the devil that way, but I thought it would be hilarious. All right. So anyways, that's it for the show. Let's close out, shall we?
Shout it away.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. This is the 350th episode of our fucking podcast. Like Garden of the Seas, Gauntlet 2, and Golden Axe 2. P.S.
Yes.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.